When I was a kid growing up in South Carolina, I was a big Braves fan. They were always on TBS during the summers and I always enjoyed watching the Braves games. So I was a big Ron Gant fan and a big Otis Nixon fan.
I grew up in Baltimore. You know, I was a big Don Mattingly fan. He was my favorite player growing up. Eddie Murray, he's the reason I'm a switch hitter. Cal Ripken. I like Will Clark, you know, sweet swing.
I followed Keith Hernandez very closely, watching WOR as a kid down in Miami. I would watch almost every Met game. Also Cal Ripken and Dale Murphy. Those were the guys that I followed. All three guys had a great respect for the game. They played both sides of the ball.
For me, Derek Jeter and Mo was one of the guys I always looked up to. You know, obviously I grew up when they won a lot of championships.
A kid grew up in the Northwest, grew up in Oregon. My favorite player growing up was Ken Griffey Jr., center fielder, left-handed. Like how he played the game, you know, his sweet swing.
You know, I'd see Griffey all the time. He was a big star and he had the sweetest swing in baseball, and he was my favorite player for sure.
My first favorite player growing up was Ken Griffey Jr., so you know, I realized I wasn't going to be fast and playing in the outfield, that I had to choose somebody else.
Growing up, probably my favorite player was Steve Avery, and I don't know how I ended up on him. You know, the Braves were on TV every night, so I was probably a Braves fan growing up in Florida, but Steve Avery was my guy, and then it was inevitable. Everybody loved Ken Griffey Jr. It was hard not to like him.
Well, I've always wanted to be a professional baseball player at a young age, but I think maybe high school was the first time, you know, you started seeing scouts around your high school games and stuff like that, and you're realizing, hey, this could become reality, not just a dream.
I would say probably not until my junior year of college. I was never really sure that it was going to be a career path for me. Obviously, going to college and walking on and making the team took a couple of years to really, you know, earn that playing time and be a full-time player at the College of Charleston. I think using the wood bat really helped me become a better hitter, and my last 2 years at Charleston obviously realized that it could possibly become a reality.
Probably before I even have, you know, good memories, I think baseball was, you know, was something that just was around all the time. My dad played baseball. You know, I probably had a bat and a tee before I even, you know, have formed memories. So something I always liked, and it was probably my favorite sport before I can even remember.
I was probably 16 years old when I realized I had a chance to, you know, do some good things. I went to Fort Myers for a perfect game tournament, and in front of a bunch of scouts, I had a pretty good performance, I guess, as a young kid, and, you know, I started getting letters from teams and from different colleges and stuff. And I was like, you know, maybe I could do something good with this sport.
I didn't really know until high school, and even then, it's kind of a pipe dream, but you never really know if you ever have a chance to make it. I just played until someone told me, okay, now you're drafted and go play professionally. That's kind of the way I did it.
The dream was to go to school. I wanted to be a doctor. That was my dream, and baseball wasn't, I knew I enjoyed playing and I knew that I loved the game, and I never really put myself there until my senior year in high school was the first time that I really got the attention and really got to be on, like, you know, all the prospect lists and things of that such, and that was the first time that it kind of became real for me.
It was a dream all along, but I don't know how realistic it was, and I think I was pretty realistic that it was, you know, something that inevitably wouldn't happen, but to have it come true is something that's pretty unbelievable and something I'm really grateful for.